Welcome, dear listeners, to another peaceful journey. I am your host, Arthur, here to gently guide you towards dreamland, while offering some food for mindful thought. Before we tuck you in tonight, voyagers of the night sky, we have a small but crucial request. As your eyelids grow heavy and the soothing tones of sleepy voyagers guide you to the realm of dreams, remember the peace, serenity, and comfort that we bring to you every night, just as a lighthouse guides lost ships. In the darkness, your reviews help other restless dreamers find their way to us by leaving a review and sharing your thoughts on your experience. You are reaching out to other insomniacs lost in the night, guiding them towards restful sleep. Take a moment before you drift away to click on the Leave a Review button on your podcast app. Help us extend our galaxy of tranquility to all those who seek the solace of sound sleep. And once you've done that, feel free to slip back under the covers of our sleep stories, ready to be whisked away on another sleepy voyage. Remember, your stars light the way for others. Every review, every rating helps us create a bigger, more beautiful universe of peace and rest. In our waking hours, how often do we ponder on the primal war we partake in, the eternal war within ourselves, a cosmic battle of good and evil, not fought with swords and shields, but with patience, kindness, empathy, the very values that make us human. The story of Snow White and the 7 dwarves. But before we delve into that, I implore you to find a comfortable spot. Nestle in, let your muscles relax. Night has fallen, and stars light up the endless canvas above us. Our story tonight also begins under a blanket of twinkling stars that covers a peaceful, still, snow-laden, and as I paint the picture for you, I wish for you to ride on the gentle wings of your breath. Inhale. Let the cool air flow in, filling your lung. Feel the chill of it. Feel life fill you. And exhale, releasing all your tensions away with it. Let your breath follow the rhythm of your heart, steady and calm, yourself getting lighter and lighter. Our shared journey tonight through the spellbinding narrative of Snow White and the 7 dwarves offers you more than a tranquil escape into the soothing realm of this timeless fairy tale. We endeavor to subtly underscore the internal tug of war that we all experience daily, the immortal struggle between good and evil. Now, before we step onto that magical path scattered with stardust, let us set aside our worries and allow the serenity of the night to envelop us. Find a comfortable spot and release the day's stresses. Picture a beautiful forest blanketed with sparkling snow. Your breath rhythmically makes small cloud puffs in the cold yet invigorating air. The soft hoot of an owl resonates in the distance, harmonizing with the crisp crunch of your footsteps on the fresh snow. This peaceful forest is the setting for our tale tonight as we inhale this radiant peace and exhale the turmoil of the day. Let us prepare ourselves for an enriching journey into the heart of Snow White and the 7 dwarves, and as the soothing pulse of the night, we embark on this illuminating adventure where vanity wars against innocence and love eventually conquers all. So let your day's worries melt away. Find a comfortable spot and get ready to embark on our bedtime voyage. Good and evil await. Our lives have grown exponentially hectic, from lengthy commutes, endless meetings, unending screen times, to mind-numbing daily chores. We've let tranquility slip through our fingertips, and somewhere along the line, our sleeping patterns took a considerable hit. Today, we take a moment to explore that. Why have modern times forged such detrimental sleeping habits? In our quest for progress, growth, and success, we've boxed sleep as an expendable commodity. We imbibe copious amounts of caffeine, Netflix. Late into the night, stare hours into blue screens, and simply underestimate the true importance of a good night's rest. Consequently, a good quality sleep becomes a privilege rather than a necessity. Transitioning from this thought, I invite you to delve into a timeless classic, a tale that mirrors the eternal battle of good and evil, woven intricately through innocent and surreptitious characters. A beautiful reminder that life is never just black or white, but filled with specks of grey. Our story tonight takes us on a captivating journey filled with love, struggle, and a powerful testament of good over evil. So, settle into your comfortable spot, leave the stresses of your day behind, and allow yourself to be transported to a realm where fairy tales weave their magic. Tonight's tale is not just about a beautiful princess and her friendly little companions. It's about the yin and yang of life, the constant battle between good and evil that we all experience within our beings. The apple doesn't just symbolize a forbidden fruit, but a forbidden bite we are all tempted to take at some point in our lives. We will unravel the story of Snow White and the 7 dwarves, not as an ordinary children's fairy tale, but as an allegory of that ceaseless struggle we grapple with each day and each night. Our heroine, Snow White, still, she isn't without her share of flaws. Her naivety at times leading her to make imprudent decisions. As we tread on this voyage through the tale, let it remind you that it's absolutely all right to trip, to make errors, but what transforms these missteps into learning is our determination to rise, to choose goodness, to choose life. This peaceful nocturnal voyage is about to set sail as we prepare to delve deep into the heart of White's story. Why don't we take a moment for ourselves to ground ourselves and center our thoughts? Find a comfortable spot free of trouble and noise, and if it's safe for you to do so, close your eyes. Picture yourself standing in an open space. You can feel the solid ground beneath your feet, and if you flex them, you can sense the tiny grains of soil moving underneath. You feel secure, grounded, connected to the world around you. Hold that breath, feeling it fill your lungs, then let it go, slowly feeling as the tension drains from your body with each passing second, as your body becomes lighter with each breath you take. Visualize that you are surrounded by a tranquil, snow-laden forest. If you listen closely, the whispering wind carries a faint but melodious song, much like a lullaby. It's serene, it's peaceful, it's magical. Let your mind linger in this forest. Let yourself breathe with it. Let this tranquility seep into your every pore, and as I count from 5 to 1, let it lure you closer and closer and closer to a state of deep relaxation. All relaxed. Good. Picture the calm, peaceful night sky, dark and infinite, embedded with twinkling stars. It's so vast, but at the same time, so calming too. Now, as you take a deep breath in, imagine yourself drawing in all the serenity from the universe. Hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And now, as you release your breath, let all the worries and stress of the day ooze out of you. Take your time, breathe in slowly, breathe out slowly. There's no rush. You're here for this moment, right now, with yourself. Feel the air entering your nostrils, your lungs expanding and then retracting. As you breathe, imagine yourself getting lighter, as if floating in the air, just like a feather carried away in the wind. Remember, each breath is a new beginning. Each exhale, a release of what no longer serves us. Around you, in your mind's eye, maybe there's pure calm. Practice this deep breathing a few times at your own rhythm, filling yourself with peace and then letting everything go. Notice the symmetry between inhalation and exhalation, the way these two forces balance each other, just like our impending tale of the eternal battle and balance between good and evil. Remember, this is about tuning into yourself, this moment here and now, as we pave our path into the heart of the snowy woods where our story unfolds. Now, let's take a moment to refocus on your physical presence, your body here, in the stillness of this quiet room. Bring your attention to your forehead. Does it feel tight? It's often the place we carry stress. Imagine a soft, cool hand lightly smoothing away this tension, ironing out the worries of your day. Release any tightness. Let go of any furrowed worry. Feel the peace that comes when your forehead is relaxed, unclenched. Now, shift your attention to your jaw. You might not even realize you're clenching it until you stop and think about it. So, take a moment now to consciously ease this part of you. Let there be slack. Let go of the need to hold on. Let the relief of this release wash over you like a soothing spring rain. Let's keep traveling south and focus on our shoulders. Let them fall. Let them soften. You're under no burden here. There's no weight to bear. Feel them loosening, unburdening with each deep, intentional breath. Keep this calmness, this peace as we delve into the enchanting world of Snow White and the 7 dwarves. As you listen, allow this serene state of mind to be your refuge. Just like the calm, snow-laden forest was for Snow White. Hold on to this serenity. Nurture your inner peace through these words, through this journey into a world of gentle wonder. I want you to imagine being in a calming, snow-laden forest. Imagine how crisp the cool air tastes. Smell the evergreen pine trees surrounding you. Each inhale brings in tranquility and calm to your body. Each exhale takes you deeper into this serene forest. Imagine your feet are touching the soft, cold, snow-covered ground, and the only sound you hear is the slight rustle of the tree branches as the wind gently passes through them. As you walk further into the forest, you admire the tall, ancient trees exhibiting a tranquil silence. The sky is a contrast of vivid blue against the bright white snow scattered throughout the forest, and you can feel the gentle ray of sunlight on your face, comforting and warm. It's a landscape of seemingly eternal winter, but there's a profound tranquility and harmony here. You're alone, but lonely, You belong here, just as every snow-laden branch, every pine needle, every bird singing a distance away does, as you drift deeper into this calming visualization. Remember, this is the setting of our story. Snow White, a story of innocent beauty and kindness, set against jealousy and malice. So allow your mind to wander into this snowy scene, carrying this serene forest visualization throughout your breathing exercise. Keep inhaling the peace and calmness, and exhaling all stress and anxiety. Can you hear the gentle rustle of the trees as the breeze lightly sweeps through the meadow? Picture the snowflakes gently falling from the starlit sky, each one finding its place upon the cool carpet of the earth. Feel that cold snow beneath your feet as you wander deeper into the pathways amongst the evergreens. Take a moment and truly ground yourself here, one deep breath at a time. The cool air entering your lungs brings clarity, while the warmth as you exhale radiates a sense of peace. Stay here for a moment, just you and the tranquility of this winter forest. Can you see the hushed calmness of the forest? Can you hear the stillness of the snowfall? Keep the picture clear in your mind as we take another deep breath. Allow the crisp scent of the snow, the fresh pine, the hushed silence to fill your senses, creating within you a connection to peace, tranquility, and perhaps a hint of anticipation, foreshadowing the magical tale about to unfold. Now hold on to that visualization as you keep breathing slowly and deeply. Imagine the snowflakes, each unique and individual. Watch as they gently land on your shoulders, your arms landing and disappearing into a tiny droplet of moisture. Each breath you take, each step you make in the snow, just like every snowflake on its path from cloud, just as each snowflake is unique in its design. Remember, so are you in your own journey of trials and triumphs, of good and defeat. Relax into this serene forest, holding on to the calmness and understanding it provides. The forest is within you, around you. Stay in this space for as long as you like. Carry this tranquil forest with you as you delve into sleep. Like the forest and its snowflakes, so are we and our minds, all in an individual journey of peace, slumber, and growth towards a better self. As we wander through the forest that is Snow White's tale, allow this calming visualization to be your guide, to inspire you through her journey of good and evil. Please lie back, settle in, and let me paint a picture for you. Our story begins long, long ago, in a time when tales were spun by firelight, and the world was a mystery just waiting to be unraveled. This is the story of a young woman, as pure as the freshly driven snow and as kind as the tender spring. Her name was Snow White, and her tale, dear listener, is one of a great and powerful struggle. Now, imagine, if you will, a castle standing proud and tall in the heart of the kingdom. There, in that regal edifice of stone and splendor, our heroine was born into a world of privilege and power. But, as is often the case in such tales, with great privilege also came great challenges. Snow White was not just princess, but the embodiment of innocence, goodness, and purity in a world often marred by greed, envy, and malice. With her fair skin, rosy cheeks, and heart full of kindness, Snow White immediately drew love and adoration from those around her, much to the chagrin of her wicked stepmother, the queen, steeped in her own insecurities and vanity, saw Snow White not as a stepdaughter to love and cherish, but as a rival to be feared and eliminated. As our story unfolds, dear listener, we'll explore the depths of the Queen's animosity, examine the meaning of true beauty and self-worth, and embark on an age-old journey of good versus evil, all with our dear Snow White at the center. This story, like the soothing lullaby of a mother, is here to help you relax, unwind, and, if we're lucky, gently lull you into a peaceful slumber. So, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let Snow White's tale guide you into the realm of dreams. But keep this in your heart. Snow White's story isn't just a fantastical tale of princesses and witches. It's a mirror reflecting upon the battles we all fight within ourselves. And just as Snow White's purity ultimately triumphs over the Queen's malevolence, so too are we capable of overcoming our own personal demons in pursuit of our true selves. Sleep or rest, but to think and to learn. This tale, as well as being an entertaining preamble to sleep, is a clear and profound reflection of our everyday battles. Let's delve deeper into the heart of Snow White's tale, the central conflict that shapes this story's essence, the eternal struggle between good and evil. As we navigate our own lives, we often face a similar battle, wrestling with feelings of envy, anger, hatred, and malice that form the shadows of our souls. But right alongside these dark sentiments lie emotions of love, kindness, compassion, and humility, illuminating the goodness within us, just like in the enchanting story of Snow White. These contrasting elements coexist within us all. However, the beauty of this human experience lies in our ability to choose. We can either surrender to the darkness, allowing it to taint our hearts and minds, much like the evil queen, whose hatred and jealousy clouded her judgment, leading her down destructive paths. As we meditate on these characters, let's remember that we have both shadow and light within us, and it's the balance we strive to maintain that determines the trajectory of our lives. Pause. Take a deep breath. Picture yourself as the observer of your own battles. Our character of interest, Snow White. A beautiful young woman, painted with rosy cheeks, and an angelic smile that belies her experiences. But before we delve deeper into her character, let's pause to reflect. Snow White, the epitome of purity and innocence. Isn't that concept a little outdated? It subconsciously puts forth an impossible ideal for women to attain. Women are complex humans, capable of making robust decisions. Let's release the misguided notion that Snow White was merely a naive damsel. Instead, let's focus on her resilience in the face of adversity. Her nature was not an inexplicable virtue, but rather a conscious decision. Yes, there was simplicity in her kindness, but it was also her way of combating and resisting the harsh realities of her world. Can't we all learn from her? Isn't it beautiful to embrace goodness, even when the world gives us ample reasons to cave into negativity? Our tale begins with Snow White, a woman with an unalterable determination to do good, stay positive, and wield kindness like a sword. Take a deep breath with me, dear listeners, as we dive further into this narrative, letting the symphony of Snow White's life echo through your thoughts and dreams tonight. Her decision to consistently exude kindness wasn't a function of her being a simpleton or just naturally blessed. She chose goodness actively, courageously, and consistently, even when she was put under tribulations. And let's be honest, she made bad decisions along the way. So, as you listen today, let's extend some compassion to Snow White for being a fairy tale princess who was also incredibly human. Even the purest hearts can sometimes stray from the path of righteousness. Much like us, Snow White is a complex character, simultaneously pure and flawed. I know what you're thinking. Snow White was the epitome of innocence and kindness, right? However, let's consider for a moment that even her, remember how she naively accepted the apple from the disguised evil queen. That hasty decision was arguably not the wisest choice. Yet, it was a testament to her humanity, a reminder that even the most virtuous among us can be enticed into making poor choices. In a parallel to reality, it's important to remember that we all have good and evil within us. Our character isn't defined by the mistakes we make, but by how we act afterward. Snow White chose kindness. She chose to trust and see the good in people. Yes, it led to a moment of downfall, but her persistence in the face of adversity is what eventually led to her triumph. So remember, dear listeners, it is all right to accept that we are complex beings with an array of emotions and capabilities. Embrace your complexities, learn from your missteps, and strive to remain kind, just as Snow White did. As you lie there, softly breathing, let this thought guide you into a peaceful slumber. Let's shift our focus gently from Snow White's purity, innocence, and her struggle to maintain her virtue, to her counterpart, the evil queen. This character is the embodiment of darkness, jealousy, and hatred. Take a moment here, dear listeners, to close your eyes and envision her in your mind, a beautiful, well-dressed figure, yes, but one who stands surrounded by an aura of palpable envy. You see, the evil queen is comically vain, an outstandingly beautiful mirror. The magic mirror formulates her daily delight or despair as it answers to her main obsession, a question seemingly insignificant, yet carrying with it a tumult of insecurities, societal constructs, and the shackles of comparison laid bare before us in the character of the evil queen. Is the dark, dangerous face of beauty obsession caused by societal conditioning, an alluring, gentle woman consumed by an inferno of hatred towards young Snow White. But why such animosity towards an innocent girl? The answer lies not in the character of Snow White, but in the twisted obsessions of the evil queen, obsessed with maintaining her status as the fairest of them all. She translates her inability to do so into a deep, loathing despise. Her insecurities push her from a place of self-love to the edge of self-destruction. Can we simply isolate and define her revolt against Snow White as evil? Perhaps not. It's important for us to understand the many contortions of emotions playing within her, the twisted joy of being superior, the anxious dread of losing it, and finally the unchecked hatred towards anyone threatening it. Here, within the silhouettes, we learn about not just an external battle of good against evil, but more importantly, about the internal struggle each one of us experiences. Within our hearts, each day, a Snow White and an evil queen reside. The choice of who we let rule, dear listeners, that choice determines our true victory over evil. Who will you let rule your heart today? Think about it as I continue to unravel this tale before you. The stepmother of Snow White, the evil queen, a character mired in envy and betraying an underlying hatred. Isn't this interesting? The women in our story are at odds with one another. Why, you might ask? Is this so often the case? Seems like society has shaped a rivalry of sorts, doesn't it? Pitted woman against woman in cutthroat competition. Is it inherently so, or has something deeper and far more insidious shaped this narrative? Take a moment to breathe in and then out, and let's dive a bit deeper. The evil queen, a woman so embroiled in her insecurities that her beauty becomes a battle she must win at all costs. What makes her so desperate to outshine Snow White? The tale paints her as vain, but what was her reality? Was it the societal pressure to be the fairest, the most beautiful? The prejudices she faced that only valued her for her looks. Breathe with me, listeners. In and out. But remember, it's not a battle between two women. It's far more fundamental than that. It's an internal struggle, a strife we all wrestle with against societal expectations and imposed roles. Women, especially so, bear the brunt of these stifling molds. Let's carry this thought forward as we breathe in peace and release any tensions lingering with us. And now, shifting into the depths of the evil queen's turmoil, the queen was facing the mirror. Yet, what haunted her was not her image, but the idea of being surpassed by another's beauty, by Snow White. She didn't detest Snow White for her innocence or kindness, but rather for her beauty, which she feared surpassed her own. The notion of her beauty waning in comparison to Snow White's consumed her, gnawing at her from the inside. It left her blinded to her fear and insecurities, let alone the methods she used to quell them. But let's pause for a moment and take a step back. Why does the queen need to be more beautiful than Snow White or anyone else? Where does this unhealthy obsession with physical appearance come from? It's important to understand that beauty shouldn't be the defining factor of her worth or anybody's worth. This brings us to an insightful point. The actual battle of good vs evil here is not a fight between two women, as it may initially seem. The battle with harmful societal standards that are constantly pushing us and shaping our values in confusing ways, especially women in our society. Women were, and to some extent, are still required to fit into certain molds or standards, their worth often reduced to their physical attributes rather than their character or intelligence. The evil queen, overwhelmed with insecurity, is embattled with these harmful societal expectations so much that it consumes her peace and blinds her to her descent into malice. Just as you're in this cozy bed, cozy chair, cozy hammock, taking this journey to the realm of sleep, imagine if you could tell the queen to do the same, to reassure her, to comfort her, to make her realize that she doesn't have to meet anyone's standards. But the question lingers, would it change her? Would knowing this have changed her, choiced her, perhaps focused her attention inward to battling her own demons instead of brewing envy and hatred towards others? Let these thoughts drift in your mind as we transport you back to the tranquil, snow-laden forest. Breathe deeply. Feel the cool, crisp air fill your lungs, and slowly release it. Each exhale is your stress, your worries, your self-criticisms and societal pressures floating away. As we have seen, this battle isn't necessarily pegged between two women, Snow White and the Evil Queen. Instead, I want you to consider it as a poignant representation of the ongoing internal strife we all experience. In fact, women have so often been the victims of society's roles and expectations, haven't they? Remember our dear Snow White. You know, all these ideals we place on young women, and more often than not, they are the ones paying the price, aren't they? The evil queen, too, finds herself victim to incessant societal pressures, the need to be the fairest of them all. Marginalized, they often stand at odds with each other, instead of standing closer together in their shared struggles. Every day we are all Snow White, and we are all the evil queen. Every day we have the power to choose kindness over envy, humility over vanity, understanding over prejudice. It's a daily confrontation, a constant chess game played within the realms of our consciousness, mirrored by the timeless story we recount tonight. In our tale, dear listeners, Each dwarf is a symbol, a metaphor. They lend a vibrant versatility to this tale, giving us more perspectives from which to analyze our tonight's exploration of good and evil. The seven dwarfs. Who are they? Why are they so significant in our understanding of human nature? It's a profound question, and the answer may surprise you. In the original Grimm's version, the seven dwarfs are not merely fantastical characters. They are symbolic representations of different aspects of our humanity. Each one personifies a unique facet of human character, embodying virtues and vices, strength and frailty. Wisdom. The Grimm's intention was not merely to create an entertaining story, but to craft a mirror reflecting ourselves. They wanted us to see these characters and recognize pieces of our own souls within them. They are like seven different colors that come together to form the complex spectrum of human emotions and traits. Why is it that we are not naming them tonight? Because it's not the names that matter. It's the lessons they teach us. They become more universal without specific identities, and you may find that you see a little of yourself in each of these figures. In this magical tale, these seven dwarfs act as guides for Snow White, representing the collective wisdom and innocence that often guides us through our own journeys, the childlike purity and grown-up maturity coexist within these characters, showing us the duality of human nature. They teach us that good and evil are not abstract concepts. Our daily battle between right and wrong, kindness and greed, love and hatred is reflected through their eyes. As we follow their journey with Snow White, we are reminded that the path towards goodness, awareness, courage, and perseverance. Dear listeners, as you drift further into sleep, reflect on these profound thoughts. The seven dwarfs are a reminder that we all have the capacity for both greatness and folly. Embrace the complexity of your own nature, for it is through understanding ourselves that we can learn to navigate the battles between good and evil that reside within our heart. She falls victim to the Queen's plan, and upon wearing the corset, falls into a deep, unconscious state. This pivotal moment in our story brings us face to face with the omnipresent battle between good and evil. A kiss from a wandering prince, compassionate and true. Her eyes flutter open, and she is greeted by the sight of the seven dwarves and the prince, rejoicing in her revival. Was her existence solely dependent on others? The seven dwarves, the prince? The answer isn't as simple. We heighten our ability to conquer evil as manifested in our thoughts, words, or action. Recognize that it's never a sign of weakness to accept. It's a game of war where we have the power to choose which side wins. And with her purity, she vibrantly illuminates the world around her. What initiated this was the constant comparison and a society constantly reminding her that she wasn't most beautiful. It's about embodying one's choices and understanding that every action has chain reactions that cast long shadows. There will be times when we are tempted by the sparkle of envy, competitiveness, and aggression, but let's remember the example of Snow White. Let's set our minds and hearts towards growth, kindness, and understanding. Using these guiding lights, we can navigate our path through any forest, no matter how lost we may feel. Ultimately, the importance of choosing goodness, resisting the lure of jealousy, stands clear. It's a daily struggle, a daunting journey, often lined with attractive distractions. We can be the warm-hearted Snow White, or we can fall into the vortex of negativity like the Queen. What matters is our conscious choice to choose better each day, every day. Now, as Snow White sleeps under the starlit sky with her small companions, let's ponder what we can do differently from tomorrow. How can we become a little more patient, a little more understanding, a little kinder? As we fall asleep, let's contemplate the choices we've made and the choices we want to make next. Remember, my dear listeners, battles are not always with others. Oftentimes, they are with ourselves. Every day, acknowledge it, face it, and conquer it with your sheer spirit of goodness. As we part for today, I want you to imagine a kinder, cuddle this thought and see how it makes a difference in your life. And with this thought, I must now leave you to your dreams. I appreciate you being here today and look forward to meeting you once again on our next journey